Hey guys, everyone, thank you so much for joining. We got a real cool episode. Something that's actually probably it's long overdue.
Oh god, yeah,
Long overdue.
yes. It's been long overdue for a while. We're both obviously UK based and what have you, just doing completely different things almost. But it's just it's a good time to unify because we've both been doing some streaming recently, which
Yeah.
is the topic of the conversation today.
Yeah, absolutely. It was
Mm.
so we've dabbled, but not really got like a proper stick in the game. It was just almost like a band practice sort of deal.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean? We're kind of going, oh yeah, we showed up to the pub for the jam night. Do you know what I mean? So it's not real gig. It's just a jam
yeah.
night.
Open mic night situation.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Now this weekend we've actually done a gig.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I wanted to get your thoughts, kind of just see where this goes. But the topic of this is basically the streaming that happened over Metropole Battle Harden.
Yeah.
How did you find streaming?
Oh, it was absolutely awesome, albeit very tiring.
Yeah.
So props props to people that do this professionally, like Flake and Armada and everybody else that do this professionally. They travel and do these things, all the time. But yeah, it's absolutely exhausting. But also the time flew. Like before I knew it, we were casting the last round. I was like, bloody hell, I've been doing this for 8 hours already, but you just don't realize it. You realize it mentally and physically, but it just flies by. You don't even feel like you're doing any like work as such, really.
Yeah, that's it. It's I obviously, well, I got the thanks, which was I shouldn't have, right? Because I rocked up to the last 3 rounds on Battle Harden because I just came back from holiday, so I'm trying to unpack everything in the house and
Oh
sort
yeah,
you know what I mean? When you come back from somewhere and you need a holiday after a holiday, I swear to God, right?
you
Especially
do.
when
Yeah,
you've got
you
kids. It's not a
Yeah.
holiday, it's work. So I was spending the whole day just running around trying to get all this stuff sorted. Poor
Yeah.
Shin, he wasn't very well, and Simon were like just covering the Swiss, and it was like 7 long ass rounds. So I jump in at top 8. So I can't say, oh, it's so tiring because I didn't do the full day gig. That was definitely Shin and Simon, but you literally stood by and did the entire thing. So hats off to you, dude. Like,
yeah. That was great. It was amazing fun, a great opportunity as well. The initiative behind it all, Project Pentecost and Heiner
so
and the
cool,
White Rabbit
wasn't it?
store. God, yeah. And because you met Heiner at Worlds initially for the box opening as well, right?
Yeah, I got to know. I got chatting to the guy, 2021 nationals, and I just tuned into his stream when he did when he did the German nationals and just chatted on the stream, and then at the time he just went, oh cool, and then we just hit it up and just had a chat, and then he said, hey, I want to meet up and talk about this thing at Worlds, and the dude is genuinely like such a lovely dude.
Oh
yeah, he's so cool, and this vision he had, I love the fact that this is something that I think most of us would think of doing, but probably were like, how are we actually gonna do this? And he's and I believe as well, while he was trying to sort this out, he was like moving house or some sort of stuff, so he had like loads of life. Yeah, that's why it was, I heard it was a little quiet, like, because we heard about this a while back. Yeah. And the dude had like a lot of stuff going on. And then he finally just got over the line on that. And he's like, oh crap, this, we've got to get this done. And to me, I just thought, what a really, really, really cool idea of just rather than just pulling it into just England. It's really setting the scene of, like, it's really thematic as well, because that Flesh and Blood has been doing that language, the different boxes with the different languages. So this just feels like it's just on theme with everything to do with that. Like, let's just get all these different languages together and actually just let the French do it in French, let the Greeks do it in Greek. Do you know what I mean? Although I will say, I didn't catch who did who was covering German.
I don't think there was one.
That was the weirdest. That's the one thing. It's like
Yeah.
the one place, the one.
Yeah,
like,
where it's being held. Nah, there's no
Nah.
stream in German. It's like, what? Yeah.
And if there was, I
Oh.
do apologize, but I didn't
Yeah.
actually spot that. But
No, I think you're right. I think there wasn't a German one. But
well, the Germans were just being very generous this time. They were like
They
everything
were.
other than.
Other than us.
I spoke to some of the casters. Mostly, I just touched base with Yorgos, who covered it in Greek, and I just said to him, "Dude, what was it like actually being able to just do this in your native language?" And he told me it was the most refreshing thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
How you had is it Superworm or Supperworm?
Supperworm, yeah. Supperworm, aka Pascal. So he's a Switzerland national.
Got ya.
He competes in all the high level stuff. So he was basically the brains behind the meta plays, because that's definitely not me.
It's funny though. I would never doubt yourself, right? Because you even if you're casual, you got to know what to do, right? You got to.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think there's an element where people are fine with not, because the only person who's going to really know is the person who's playing the deck about the real in depth of what their deck's trying to do. But for most of us, we're just, well, we know what's doing it. We know what's going to happen, right? We know what they're going to try and do, especially if you've seen Azalea or even anyone. It's like, well, I know they're going to pump and they're going to throw an arrow. You know what I mean? So
but the reasoning behind it, it's just like you can commentate on the card and the rules and everything, but that's the great thing about casting, and obviously experiencing this recently. It's just like, okay, why is he doing that? You have a conversation with your co-host as to what they could be thinking, and then it could be something entirely different. So that's another great thing about it as well. It's just exploring it as you're almost a spectator as well, to a certain degree.
That's it. So... You're just a spectator that's got a microphone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So what I found is how, and I saw this when I was watching a bit of your stream at the start, Love.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ, all these people have to learn English, and the amount of times they have to just, because if they just did it in their own native language, they know that if they just did it in English, it will push more. If that makes sense, like it will just get more views because there's just more people who would be able to understand it. If it was completely in Italian or something, you're only covering the Italian base, and it's just like no one else is going to do it. But because everyone has to do it in English and we're all on board, I felt bad. And I tell you what, it kind of ties in because I went to Belgium on holiday, and even then I'm like, everyone learns English, and it just makes me feel bad that it does. That we don't even we don't need to.
No,
because everyone has because everyone else is doing it, so it just makes you lazy of learning other languages.
It is, we are quite sort of not even lucky is the right word, but we're just fortunate. Lazy. Yeah, fortunate. Yeah, that's a good word for it. Where English is a commonly spoken language, but fair play to all these people that know multiple languages and continue to do this as well. Like that intro cracked me up. That Project Pentecost intro, because you got them all speaking in English, and then suddenly you got Pietro just busting out into an Italian Metropole Rue, and he did a stupid face as well, and it was just like, this is brilliant.
I completely agree. Agree, and I can imagine all of them are just like, I mean, we're two English dudes speaking for everyone else. Irony, but it must be very liberating. So if you are one of those casters, or you are someone from Europe or speaks a completely different language, just comment down below if you checked out their local stream, how refreshing was it for you? But it in general though, you really, really enjoyed it.
Oh god, yeah, it's fantastic. And with regards to like streaming experience, could be another good thing to touch on. To be honest, like when I started my channel it was just before Monarch released back in 2021. That's when I started. And at the time, I was watching Towering Titan, Chris Sweeney.
Yeah, good lad.
Yeah, good lad. Yeah, so don't think he does anything anymore, but life gets in the way, which is fair enough. yeah, he was very much inspiration to what I then decided to do with the channel and where it's led, to this precise moment in time, speaking to you at last on Push the
Aha.
Point. So yeah, very profound. But yeah, so watched a lot of that beforehand, and I was just like, Monarch, oh, this Bolton charging his soul, Prism making these spectral shields, board states, and it's supposed to be a back and forth, Chain playing with his banished zone. I was like, right, I need to go back in time. I need to go listen. I need to go look at the Welcome to Wraith set before I go into this game. But that was the first sort of streaming thing I really saw of Flesh and Blood was Chris.
Oh wow. Okay. So what was your sort? Did you sort of have a little idea on how you wanted to tackle the stream, or did you go, you know what, I'm just gonna be me? Like, you know what I mean? What was your sort of, because it's totally different from just recording, right, and editing. Because
Oh yeah,
I know the recording editing game because you're bloody crazy with the editing. I've seen your UPF video. That
oh
was
gosh, yeah.
oh God.
Yeah, it takes a while.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, Jesus Christ, this guy definitely knows how to like get the editing done. But streaming, it's just like, okay, I got one take.
You're just always on. You're always on. You can't be like, you can't mess up or anything like that. You can't. There's no second takes. You're just always online. But again, it's one of those things that I think you may have done this as well in the past. It's like streaming like box openings and just chilling out with people that are in the chat and stuff. So I've done a few bits like that on the channel. But historically as well, for Go Again Gaming at least, I actually used to do a lot of streaming and therefore had experience with it. But I don't think many people would have saw it because that's when it was still growing. But I used to do these things called Go Again Gaming Open tournaments, which were all streamed on my channel, which were basically Discord tournaments captured on OBS and then streamed out to YouTube, and they were capturing the webcams of the players' board states.
Right.
So yeah, I did five Go Again Gaming Opens, which were capturing Discord calls, similar to what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
Capturing a Discord call, but that was all live, and I figured that out just by watching. So content creators out there, streamers that want to get into this, you can just learn all this by YouTubing it. How do I stream? How do I capture this? How do I do this? YouTube is just a wealth of knowledge. You can find out anything on there, and it's exactly what I did to learn how to do these. And so I've had a bit of experience coming into this PTI stream, which we both did, luckily. And I've also dabbled in the taking your setup, similar to what Sean does on VODs, to a store as well, because I went to the Games Den in Basingstoke when they don't do Fab anymore, but I went there because I met up with Vince Pleasant Kenobi because he wanted to play the game.
Right.
So he came down to the store and we streamed. It was called No. Can I swear on this podcast?
Do what you want, mate. As long as it's not too profound.
No. So no, it was called No Bullshit Blitz.
Yeah,
essentially.
cool.
So it was like a format which didn't have Majestics or Legendaries. So it was kind of like, and we streamed this back in November 21. So it was a long time ago, before there was Commoner, before there was the attempted Clash format and all that. Just trying to experiment with cards without having all the power stuff, so people can learn to play a little bit easier. So yeah, I tried that as well with the whole sort of overhead streaming down at playmats and stuff. But it's hard to take all of that. Well, when you're trying to do content as well, that's another discussion point, really. And I just ramble on and on. So please,
you crack on, mate. It's a tough gig, isn't it? Trying to actually find out that nice sweet spot of being able to what's consistent. Like, what's my sweet spot of consistency? Is it getting all this huge setup and bringing us all along and doing it's a tough gig. But so you did all of that, and that obviously all those things are going to be majorly helpful for when you're setting up for this. And you obviously figured you needed to have someone to bounce off of, which again, you do. God, if you had to do this on your own, and it's an older mirror.
Oh, here we go. Yeah,
Here we go. I can't wait for this. And
yeah,
you got to do it, bounce this off on your own.
yeah.
It's
There's the fisting again. There we go.
yeah.
Brilliant.
Well, they've changed the sledge to the fist. Hurrah!
Yeah, yeah,
It's
brilliant.
we're now here for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
It's would you do this again? Would you want to do a big long stream like this again?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. Luckily, I imagine similar to yourself, I did have some support from other partners and affiliates and all that sort of thing. So it wasn't completely and utterly for nothing, you
Mm.
know. And that's a conversation that Flake has had with Mansant and Ethan, because he started that whole streaming thing as well. Like, it's really picked up recently. A lot of creators want to do streaming because that's where the audience is right now, while the game is still very much focused on competitive. It probably will always will be. They are going to focus on casual things later on down the line, I expect. But as it's that's the main popular stuff at the moment. People want to watch the high stakes competitive events, don't they? That's what they want to do. So we've seen a lot of people adapt to cater to this, yourselves included, because you've brung on an extra member to do it for you. Still under the name, but Ethan, for instance, absolutely loved the guy because he, like, similar to myself, just loves one bloody hero, and that was it. He was all Leviathan all the time.
Yeah.
His obviously stat breakdowns and his card evaluations and all this is obviously much better than me. He's got a lot more credentials than I have. But we both come from the same I love this hero and I love this hero only. But he has now gone on to do more streaming stuff to a ridiculous quality, and he brings it all.
Insane.
He does it all himself. It's mad.
Yeah.
But I think he is expanding that as well, like based on a few tweets he's done. I don't know the ins and outs, but I think he is expanding it and maybe turning it into something much larger than that. So fair play.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's really exciting to see different sort of creators actually sort of grow and working out where things can go. And I think that's just a normal, natural process of what happens when you are wanting to be a content creator and you've actually skin in the game has been, in it for good few years now.
Oh yeah, both of us.
Yeah, it's good. And you work out then where do you want to go? What do you want to continue to keep doing? I've seen like lots of different YouTubers, especially Sloot Dupes and yours, video about burnout and everything. And
so that's a hot topic as well at the moment, really, is and relevant to what we're saying is choosing your path and realizing what you want your consistent content to be, whether that's streaming or just random thought-provoking videos or whatever. That's all part of the discovering what you want to do process, which we all go through.
Yeah, absolutely. I've always felt like I've linked this up because you've been in bands, and when I was a lot younger. I used to be in a lot of bands as well, and this has this kind of feel and vibe of being in a band, of where you kick this off and go, right, okay, when you start up anything, you're just going to grab your mates or just grab your mic or grab your camera, go whatever, grab your instrument, meet up in a jam spot and just do something, right? No one knows who you are. No one cares. But who cares, right? Because what you're going to do, you're just going to make some shit because you just showed up with energy, passion, and just the drive to want to do it. 2 years in, 2 years in, you're still playing, and then you're like, do we want to continue? Like, we've been in it around long enough. There's been other bands in our area has been playing gigs as long as us, and they're playing bigger gigs, and we're still in the pub, and you can't help but just sort of think, what do we need? What do we want to do? Do we want to is it for the love of making music like we did at the start? Is it, do we want more than what we've got? Are we better than what we, do you know what I mean? It's just internal battle of like time and this and ego and what is also a big part of it. It's you feel like you should be the effort and you can't help but compare. All these sort of things come into play, and I think these are the moments where you feel like you just got to take a step back and go, why Yeah, you know, because no one owes you shit. You ain't Metallica, right?
No.
You never, you know what I mean? It's not the realism of it all is you probably, right, never going to be Metallica, right? You probably won't be,
No.
but don't give up trying, because at the end of the day, people know when you love it, right?
Yeah,
People
they do, yeah.
know when you love it. People know when you're trying to do something for the sake of doing it. There's a big difference of doing it for the sake of doing it rather than doing it because you just actually really like what you're doing. Like,
yeah,
your song sounds so much better when you actually go, I actually really liked making this fucking song. Like,
yeah.
I don't actually know if this song's going to be any good or not. I don't care if this song is not any good or not. I actually really like this fucking song that I've just made. And I made it because I enjoy making music, or I enjoy making content. I enjoy doing what I'm doing. Like, for me, I enjoy meeting people, talking to them about a particular thing that's happening around about the time I'm about to publish this video. And it's relevant in the time that we are talking about it. And I want to hear what someone else that I would feel like I would enjoy talking to has their opinion about it. I'm going to hit the record button. I'm going to enjoy this time I am having with this person. And once I've sent it out there, and that's it. And that's it.
So be it.
And then so be it. And that's me in the moment. And I've got that captured in the moment. And I suppose that's pretty much what whenever I feel like, oh man, like I've just come back from holiday, like today, like, oh God, YouTube is this unforgiving machine.
Oh yeah, look at the stats. You haven't posted a video today, and if you did, it's got a downward arrow, and it's not.
And you got to sort of look at that and just go, I need to be aware that the machine needs fuel, but I don't need to be controlled by the fuel of the machine. I just need to go, right, okay, so what am I going to enjoy wanting to do this week? Like, what is actually going to fire me up? And today it was, I want to talk to Az. I want to talk to him about this casting gig, and that's. I think this is real, everyone. This is genuinely how I feel. I don't know. I'm not the pro, but from doing this for a few. This is like my fourth band. I don't know why I'm going to keep referencing back to music.
That's a good reference.
This is my fourth go of content creating, and the other ones I feel like I went down that road of I've got to achieve an outcome, and that's when I realized, and look, they're all died. And then and this one was never, I was never going to make content creation for this game. I actually said I am never making content creation for this game. I would love to just play the game and have no stick in it. Like, there's no name to it. I can say and feel and do whatever I want, and I've got nothing to lose. Do you know what I mean? If I'm really rude, or if I'm really angry about something, right now I've got to be mindful. I've got, it's not just me. It's push the point. Am I gonna just, people are gonna go, oh, sod this channel. This guy's horrible.
Yeah,
right?
Just imagine that. Just imagine sitting down and just be like, right, I'm just here to enjoy the game. Doesn't matter what I'm thinking.
Yeah, exactly. And you're going to be not to say that I'm not being me, because I totally am being me, but like, I feel like more than ever, and this, don't want to make this about me, but you brought it up about the burnout and everything. So and I found the topic absolutely fascinating.
Oh God, yeah.
It just reminded me of going, I actually came into this because I didn't want to achieve anything.
Yeah.
I actually just didn't want to achieve a thing. I just actually found two dudes I really like talking to. I got that smell of, I really like podcasting. I really like talking to people. I can't fucking help it.
Yeah.
I just generally can't help it. So let's just do that. And I don't give a fuck. Let's just do that. And I just don't give a fuck. And when we started this up, and I said to you, I just want to do my podcast every 2 weeks with my two guys, and everything else is a bonus. And that's it, right? And if it just doesn't work, it just doesn't work. And I think everyone wants to jump in and listen, and they do it to you. They do it to everyone. Everyone that's genuinely like successful, quote, is whatever that is, whatever that means, and it's different for for different people.
Yeah.
They love it. And everyone knows they love it. And they love making it. And that's why everyone is in. And if you're ever feeling burnout, in my opinion, it's just take that rain check and just don't care about the 4K views.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to your 20 fans. Talk to your 20 fans because they give a fuck about you. And those 20 fans genuinely like you. They genuinely want to hear what you've got to say. And you actually were very fucking happy you had 20 in the first place when you started. So just take a rain check, look at them, speak to them, make it for them. And then everyone else, and you'll soon find out you'll have 21 fans by the, you know what I mean? That's my take on the burnout thing. Anyway.
Mm. No, yeah, I definitely agree. Yeah, you know, I think it's as simple as just literally just turning the camera on and speaking, because the people that follow you and enjoy what you're saying, that will make their day anyway. Just hearing from their favorite person or their favorite creator, the people that they like to watch, you know. So just turn it on and upload something, you know. Sometimes that's what I've started doing a little bit more. I used to do it a lot when I first started, just chatting about random shit.
Dude, I remember watching your stuff at the very start and just being like, fucking hell, man. I loved it.
About?
Anything. I found that liberating. I just love that sort of, you know, that feeling of just grabbing a topic and just rolling with it and just putting it out there. And it's like, that's cool. That's cool.
I remember doing a top 5 cards I'd put in Viscerai, and I was just like, I look back at that now and think, probably not.
Yeah, I remember watching that and went, not those ones, bro.
Not those ones. No,
no, I wouldn't. Yeah. But it's
Dark Ascendancy. What the fuck?
Yeah, I know. Although I still look at that card and think, I really do want to put this in, but
I know, right? It's I do love it. But...
I just wanted to say, like, I'm going to start wrapping this up from here because, you know, right, that lovely content creators, man, right, that lovely sweet spot of 30 minutes. It's a good number. It's a good number.
Yeah, go for it.
Is there anything that you would like to sign this off on, just to, you know, as your thanks or anything like that before we go?
Yeah, well, mainly just thanking the Project Pentecost team, really, for inviting both of us on to do this, and thanks to you as well for and Push the Point for splitting it in half for the UK coverage. So obviously you did the Battle Hardened the event, and I did the PTI event. So it was good to get two perspective on that. So that was awesome. Really, really enjoyed it. Would love to do it again at some stage. Not sure if it would. Well, obviously Heiner might do a similar thing again, perhaps. But
yeah,
who knows?
Yeah, that's it. It's just those opportunities, isn't it? It's just like it's a pretty special gig. Will these special gigs happen again? We don't know. We'd love it to happen again. I thought it was very successful. But if it does, it does. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. You know, you just roll on to the next thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
But yeah, appreciate you coming on. Yeah, I'm Alice from Go Again Gaming, and appreciate you finally getting us on to do some stuff about content creation, because that seems to be the content, the sort of hot topic, and the streaming as well, of course. So
yeah, absolutely. If anyone is starting up and just considering it, you know, you listen to Az. He's got that awesome video about burnout. There's also a great thing about Sloot Dupes, burnout stuff as well. But just watch it. And I tell you what, go back and watch those first stuff that we used to do. You go watch, you go see Raw Passion, right? And then you just see and growth, and just do it. Just seriously, just go and do it. And you're watching two dudes that have just and Simon and Trip, as well as Sean and everyone else, we're all the same. There's nothing crazy about it. It's just be you, be passion, and it'll kick off. But dude, thank you so much. This is long overdue. Now you gotta jump us onto your channel for this quiz that apparently we want to do this quiz. Mate.
Yeah, there's always these random ideas in my head. Whether they come to fruition or not, I don't know. I'm trying to juggle so many things and identify what I want to do in life. But there we go.
No, that's life, isn't it? That's life.
Exactly.
But want to do a quiz. I'm not going to lie. Right.
Yeah, nice one.
Peace out, everyone.
Cheers.